you ever called a customer service number and ended the phone call with the same questions you had in the first place, simply because there was such a miscommunication between you and the person on the other line of the phone? This has happened to many of us, and if not, it probably will sometime in the future. The reason many of us have dealt with this is because of one thing: outsourcing. Outsourcing is one strategy many businesses in our country today use to help them gain maximum profit, meanwhile maintaining minimal necessity expenses. Although it may have its benefits, there's also a negative side to it. As American citizens, we should all be concerned with such things, considering it takes place here in our country. Outsourcing may be impacting our citizens in such ways that it affects our economy, our job market, and quality of product safety. First, I'll start off with a little bit of history, how I got started. It got started as a strategy for making the maximum profit, meanwhile maintaining minimum necessity costs, such as utility costs and wages with the employees. In the 1950s and 60s, many companies chose to diversify, which was making a variety of parts and having different tasks for manufacturing in their companies in order to make more money. Because they figure simply if they're making more products, then they'll be making more income. So therefore they expected to have a protection of profits. But in the 1970s and 1980s, they discovered that all this overwhelming activity in their factories was causing bloated management. So there was too much going on in their companies to handle. It was just overwhelming to everybody. And this was really hard for them if they were trying to compete in the global market. So what they decided to do was ease all the management and all the overwhelming activities by using third parties or other companies and other facilities in order to give them the simple task, and then the company itself can only focus on the core business. It also affects the economy and job market because for three main reasons. There's less income to the national economy. It also affects job opportunities for those looking for jobs. And it also makes it difficult to find reemployment. Less income to the national economy. This affects the national economy because they get less payroll tax receipts, and also it affects Social Security and Medicare. So, of course, if nobody's making money, they can't tax anybody, so they're making less money that way. Also with job opportunities, this strips hundreds of thousands of jobs every year. Also, especially from those with minimal qualifications, so those who don't have an education beyond high school, or those who are not skilled in, let's say, how to operate machinery or computer programming, etc. It takes away just the simple jobs and sending them to other countries. Also, for those who are skilled, those who do know how to operate machinery or operate computer programs, or do have a high education beyond high school, it makes it harder for them to find jobs as well, because those more important tasks are being sent overseas. And this chart just shows, you don't have to look at all the numbers, but if you could just look at 2000 as compared to 2015, and just the total lost jobs in 2000 was 102,000, as versus in 2015 it's projected to go a little bit over 3 million. So you can just see how big of a significant difference there is just between 15 years. And also difficult reemployment. It also once people have lost their jobs, it takes them a longer time to find employment, and also when they do find employment, they often suffer a significant wage reduction from their previous jobs. Also, with less employees, there's obviously going to be less consumers, especially with those who are living in poverty. Their contribution to the consumer spending and tax revenue is significantly lower because, of course, they either can't get a job, or when they do lose one, they can't find another one. This was all stated by Directory Journal. And last but not least is the quality of the product safety. Quality of product safety is risky when outsourcing certain things such as maintenance. Reason being, they go under less inspections, and when they are inspected, they're either not thoroughly inspected, or they're tipped off, meaning somebody goes around and tells everybody that there's an inspection coming up, so they make sure they get everything, make sure everything looks like it's being done the right way, and then when they leave, they just go back to doing things the wrong way. Also, they're unregulated and unsupervised, so on a day-to-day basis, there's nobody keeping track of things and making sure that things are being done correctly. And also, another problem is the companies are providing English manuals to all these other factories in other countries, which is obviously a problem because many of them don't speak English there, so they obviously can't construct the different pieces of the materials the right way. And this picture was taken in January of 2008. What happened was an airplane company they outsourced a certain part of the plane to another factory in the States, which then outsourced it out of the country. And it had faulty pieces in the tail of the airplane, so then for some reason when it landed, it lost control and it crashed and it killed 21 people. In conclusion, today I told you about the effects of outsourcing on our American citizens and how it can affect our economy, the job market, and quality of product safety. So if you guys ever think about having a business and outsourcing, maybe you should think about how it can affect your family, friends, and everyone back at home.